It's Wednesday, August 5th. Welcome aboard to this edition of Barnstable Today. I'm Kevin Friel.
And I'm Andrew Gobeel. Thank you very much for joining us.
We'd like to remind you right at the top that the meetings we cover are available on demand at the town's website, www.town.barnstable.ma.us.
On this warm, overcast, sticky day, we are right here by Hyannis Inner Harbor. Now, the relationship between water and the town of Barnstable is obviously something that goes back for centuries. And once again, the town of Barnstable has taken yet another step to make sure that relationship continues. Just over on the other side of the harbor, a few steps from here, the Gary Brown boat ramp was officially announced and officially named. We'll tell you a little bit about what happened there. Gary Brown, a former town councilor, was instrumental in providing the funding which enabled them to actually redo this boat ramp and give access to residents and non-residents alike to the waters here right off of Barnstable.
It's a beautiful day and it reflects the beauty that we all get to enjoy all the time, but it reminds us how important it is to have access to this harbor on the south side. And the town council saw the importance of that, and when Gary was council president, they began a coastal access program and passed a bond issue that was designed to improve access for the residents of Barnstable and our visitors, so that they would have easy access into the coast to enjoy, those fishing and the swimming and the boating the way that we do.
That was Assistant Town Manager Tom Lynch, who was instrumental in putting the entire program together.
Another speaker yesterday was Town Council President Frederick Chirigotis. Here's what he had to say.
Actually, President, I have to say that from the Admiral and from John Klim, who said that Gary was a gentleman and a leader and a friend, that's true. He taught us one thing, if nothing else, and that is that the longer you speak, the more people you lose. Which is true. I think you've been introduced to all of the councilors who are here. I think that the easiest and the simplest thing to do is to just turn around and take a look at what we have here for a ramp and just think back a couple of years ago to what we did have. And Gary was a champion in saying we really need to start working on this project without concern for where the money's going to come from. We got to get this done, and it's done, and it's a great job. And I want to thank Gary Brown.
Thank you, Fred.
Thank you.
Again, that was Town Council President Fred Chirigotis.
And just before Fred Chirigotis spoke, Town Manager John Klim spoke as well.
Thank you, Tom, and I want to welcome all of you here. I've had the great honor and pleasure, as many of you have had, of knowing Gary Brown for quite a few decades. And as we were talking about this event today, I could not think of a better way to do it for Gary, having it relatively informal and being surrounded by his family and his friends. And I know that Gary Brown, more than anything else, knows what the word friendship means. And that's what all of us are here today, to show our love and our support for someone who has been a friend for so many years in the town of Barnstable. We're here today for two reasons. One is to rededicate a very important way to our water, our boat ramp. And Bob Bergman reminded me that this project started back in 97 or 98, and unfortunately during that whole time we had commitments from the state that they would at least partner with us in this project, and unfortunately that never came to be. So I guess at the end of this we can give a big Bronx cheer to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, because ultimately it's the residents of Barnstable with Gary's leadership that had to step up to the plate. And so we rededicate this important facility. And the second thing that we're here for is to dedicate it to a gentleman who has been a leader in this community and a friend to so many people. Gary was involved with town meeting and served on so many committees and commissions in the town of Barnstable, served with distinction at the state level as a legislative aide for a few years, came back, continued his commitment and service to our community, served with distinction on the Barnstable Town Council, and because of that, in all of those years as a Vietnam veteran, having come back, he never forgot and has never forgot his brother and sister veterans, and the number of favors and service that Gary Brown has done to our sons and our daughters and our fathers and our grandparents, our veterans. No one of us, other than maybe Irene, will ever know how many little and very large favors, very quiet favors, Gary Brown has done for so many of our veterans here in the town of Barnstable. So we're here this afternoon to recognize Gary R. Brown, our friend and our neighbor who has meant so much to our community. And in our very small way, our way to give back to Gary Brown and to say thanks for being such an important part of our lives and our community here in the town of Barnstable. Thank you.
Once again, the official unveiling of the Gary Brown boat ramp located just a few steps behind us here in Hyannis Inner Harbor. We're going to leave you now with the official unveiling and then the applause given to the man who was instrumental in coming up with the $800,000 to finance the reconstruction of this boat ramp, the boat ramp which now stands in his name.
You know something? I'm over here.
Is there a drum roll? Into the wind.
Oh, wow.
Thank you, Tom. Everyone, I hope not to be as long as the previous speaker.